No.
No, it says something up there. Why? Because we got the little blue sticker?
You got to click it off, right? Oh, okay. All right. Good evening, all. Thank you for attending the agenda meeting for October 30th, 2023. Mr. Lewandowski will lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman McMahon. Here. Councilman Hanlon.
Here.
Councilman Lewandowski.
Here.
Councilman Niles.
Here.
Supervisor Molino.
Here. All right, on your, this is not on your agenda because it just came in tonight. 3 weeks ago, we at our board meeting, the folk school was here talking to us about all the changes they want to make. And there was one question we didn't get answered. And if you would like to speak about what you're looking for.
Sure.
It's simple, I think, and I think Karen knows about it, right, Karen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So when we forget, we can run the tape and play it again.
And blame it on Karen anyways.
Okay, well, the Adirondack Folk School is planning on 2 buildings.
Pull that over in front of you.
All right. The Adirondack Folk School is planning on 2 buildings. One building we already have underway. We have the plans done and we're working on permitting for it. And that is actually an expansion to our existing blacksmith shop. The other building that we're working on is in the planning stages. And it's either going to be a separate new program building for us to hold classes in, or quite likely what you see on the screen there, which is an expansion to the existing building. Everything on the right side of that center entranceway is part of the existing building, rehabilitated, modified a little bit, new siding, made to look really nice. And then in the center with this proposal would be a lobby and a gallery area with an elevator, so we can have 100% compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, and then more classroom space and public space on the left end. So this is the plan that was proposed by the architects that we've hired, AJA, and we're working with them on refining these plans. We're pretty excited about the way that looks, and with the economy that we would achieve by using the existing building and rehabilitating it, improving the HVAC systems and the lighting, the electrical and all of that. And also having sort of a compact space to use where it's easy for the staff to manage what's going on. And this building, as proposed, we also want to include a public space where community groups could use part of the building if we're doing performances, plays, musical performance, things like that. And but that's all in the planning stages. Now, as part of the permitting for the blacksmith shop and the planning for this, we're concerned about flood zone A delineation along the Stewart Brook there. Right. And this is not a well-defined flood zone. They don't actually give a flood elevation on it. And I don't think anyone, FEMA or otherwise, ever actually did any real calculations in this area. So what we would like to do is apply to FEMA to better define that floodplain with what's called a letter of map change or a letter of map amendment. And I'm rolling right along here, but try and explain what we're up to. So in order to get that letter of map change or letter of map amendment, we need to have an engineer prepare this letter. And that, along with that, request, we have to show the hydrologic and hydraulic analysis that supports the change. And that means taking in all of the rainfall impacts and all of the watershed, how long it takes the water to gather together in all of the upstream water bodies running down the valley here and through Lake Luzerne. And to give us what they call the 1% storm or the 100-year storm, which is the design flood. Well, a lot of that work, hydraulic and hydrologic work, was done for the town by Labella engineers when they did your dam study.
That is correct.
Right. So I talked to Labella and asked them if that information was sufficient to do the work that we need done. And they said yes. But the work was done for the town and they need your okay to use that information or to allow us to use that information and to build upon the work that they did for the town so we can define the floodplain down below. And that's what we're asking you to.
Got a
give us
hell of a
an okay.
deal for you.
All right.
Pay
Well,
50% of our bill and you got it.
okay, does anyone else have a better? But anyway, that's what we're looking for.
It would
And,
save them, it would save them engineering studies again for the same
Yeah.
thing.
I
Well,
would,
we had what, roughly $90,000 tied up in that? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't think it was that much.
Yeah,
Not for the study. Maybe
for the
whole
study,
project.
for the dam analysis,
whole project,
not the
yeah.
work. But
I would suggest that we set up a plan where you make 5 equal payments of $0.
I think that works better. I like that.
I like to see a dollar a year or something,
Yeah.
5 years. So at least we have something.
I don't want to railroad anything.
What do you think, Tim?
Any more discussion?
It's a no-brainer. I mean, it's just passing information on off to them.
Yeah.
So I don't see there's any problem with it.
Andy?
I make a motion, we authorize the supervisor to write the letter authorizing Labella to provide the information to the folk school.
I'll second it.
So authorize the supervisor to,
Write the letter authorizing Labella to provide the folk school with the
Engineering.
Their engineer reports.
inspection information.
This is your town too.
and who seconded that?
I did.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
There you go, Bob.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, thank you very much.
What's the rough schedule for the addition?
Well,
Just, I know you got long ways to go.
if we can square away the flood stuff, the addition to the blacksmith shop, we hope to do next construction season. And that's a relatively small project. The big building, we're looking at an expenditure somewhere in the area of $3 million.
Wow.
So, we don't actually have $3 million right now. But we're looking for it, and we have some donors lined up for part of it, and we're applying for grants. But in order to get the grants, we need a set of plans that is substantially complete.
Right.
So we're investing the money right now in the architect's work to get us where we can apply for the grants. So we're looking to apply for a grant. New York State Council on the Arts.
Mhm.
And
Are you Mrs. Serrani?
in early January. And that's for up to 50% of the project cost. And we have some other donors who are interested for parts of it. And, you know, it's not unlikely we'll end up borrowing some money for part of it.
Yeah.
So,
You're talking a couple of years then, basically.
yeah, we're looking at a couple of years out to start it.
I want to throw out something. This is coming out of left field.
Yeah.
We're in the process of considering building a nicer playground
Yes.
at the park.
Mhm.
And, you know, we're just gathering information at this point. Do you think there's any potential for a symbiotic relationship there?
We're always happy to work with the
Okay.
town where we can.
I'll show you the early info that we just got yesterday, or just got Friday.
What degree of symbiotic relationship you talking about?
Maybe installation. Or even building some of the stuff.
As long as it's not out of wood.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you. You guys have a nice evening.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And thanks for squeezing us in.
all right, I'd like to open the public hearing on the preliminary budget. We'll try to, if we have any comments on the budget from the audience or out in the
Is there
space
anybody on,
world.
Chris?
We have a couple of participants, they could hear us.
Okay,
Raise their hand.
Oh, get that off so we can see who they are.
Oh, yeah.
so how big a building is? 2 million buildings.
How long is a piece of string? It depends on what you're putting in it, I guess. I don't know. I don't.
The one effect is the problem.
Maybe a couple $100 a square foot.
Just text them.
Sheesh.
It's been a long time.
You can figure 300. Cause they gotta meet all the codes also. That sprinkler system, evacuation.
Well, it'll be big enough for sprinkler then.
What are you talking about? We got houses that gotta go in now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's the limit? What's the?
there is.
cutoff?
All right, so what are we waiting?
Well, I'm
for?
waiting for Chris. Are we all right, Chris?
Okay, there's nobody
All
that
right.
wants to say anything.
Okay.
All right, nobody out in the audience would like to say anything. How about here? Anybody want to say anything about our budget? Okay, without further ado, if we have no questions from the audience or out in TV land, I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with the budget.
I'll second the
Can
motion.
we close the public hearing first?
Oh, okay.
Technically.
We'll close, I'd like to.
I make a motion, we close the
Close
public
public
hearing.
hearing, sorry.
I'll second
All
it.
right, we got a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so resolution to adopt the 2024 preliminary budget as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, carried.
Thank you. Go ahead, you want to do the
Good night.
next?
Resolution to appoint Douglas Gill as Assistant Water Purification Operator. And I don't have a rate of pay or a starting date.
It's $42 an hour. It's weekend work. Four hours. Mhm.
Okay, 4 hours.
Weekend only at this time, correct?
And fill in if, Jeff needs a day off or something like that.
$4,900 adds up to 13 weekends and 7 2-hour days like for vacations and stuff.
Yeah. Adds up to what?
4,956.
Fine.
Well, it came out, that'd be about $900 more than what we're paying you guys
Right.
to do it.
This was at 42, you said?
Yeah,
I'll make a motion. Start ASAP.
I'll second it.
Well, can you give me a date, like,
What's
When's your
today?
pay period switch?
Right, what's today?
I would think you want to start it effective this week, so if he's going to cover this week and.
Oh.
Yeah.
So let's say effective tomorrow.
November,
October
October
31st?
31st.
October 31st or 30th?
31st.
31st. And Councilman Lewandowski, you made that motion?
Yes.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, carried. Resolution to renew the MVP Employee Health Insurance Plan. And I need the wording for the specific plan that you're going to do.
We're looking to move on that resolution tonight.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, we have,
Pass that.
Yeah,
I don't have that stuff with me. I know which one. I
right,
know
you
which
got
one
yours,
it
Gus?
is.
Yeah, it's the MVP gold, wasn't it?
We were MVP gold, or I think your intention was to switch to MVP silver.
That's the one.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes.
So that.
Did we write this resolution already?
No, I don't think we did.
Because we were gonna do it with the understanding that we were gonna
Pick
cover
up, pick up the difference in regards to
co-pays.
co-pays.
Right, and we talked about it at the.
But nothing was done.
Last time, but it was never, there was never a resolution. for it.
Pass. So we have to make, that's why we
The
gotta do it now.
resolution got missed. It
Okay,
was
we gotta-
last year.
So we want to tune this resolution up a little bit, correct?
Yeah, you need to put the specifics into it. That's why I was asking you for the language.
So that it will be the MVP,
Silver,
HMO, HDHP. So it goes three.
mhm. And what about the others part of it?
And they wanted to, what I have in my notes. For urgent care and emergency room, you wanna pay the difference of the co-pays? Which.
Well, we're picking up part of the co-pays already. You had mentioned.
So you
No,
don't pay the
I think
co-pay till after they put the deductible.
Right,
We're already doing the deductibles.
Right.
yes.
Okay,
So with the switch, the emergency room co-pay after they put their deductible goes from 75 to 300.
Right,
And you had talked about you wanted to pay the difference of those co-pays.
that is correct.
Right,
on three,
And.
wasn't it 3 items?
To 50. And the other one, the inpatient hospital goes from 200 to 500.
We were only picking up part of it.
That you had talked about paying.
1, 2, 3.
Right. Okay, I believe it's called MVP HMO HDHP Silver 3,
right, she's got that.
okay?
Mhm.
And the three things that we were gonna pick up the copay were inpatient hospital, outpatient surgery, and emergency room.
Outpatient surgery is.
Those were the 3 items.
Outpatient surgery, it's not changing.
So that was already covered. We already covered that.
No, that was 200 and it is 200. In my notes, I have urgent care and emergency room because that's what went on.
I'm listing the 3 items that we're gonna pick up the copay.
Well, we already discussed.
That's what I'm told.
Okay.
You guys discussed. You didn't discuss outpatient surgery, I don't believe. I believe it was urgent care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been.
It was.
Because urgent care is going from 20 to 50. So you had talked about covering the difference of that. And the difference for emergency.
Urgent care. You circled the wrong one. That's all.
If you'd like, I can show you.
Yeah, that's,
Where I have-
she's right.
I have these ones circled that you wanted to pay the difference and you wanted to pay the entire for the inpatient. And you wanted to pay the difference for urgent care and emergency.
Yeah, I must have circled the wrong one then.
Yep. All right, so we can make you can make a copy of that. For Lori for
Yeah, I'll
tomorrow,
sit with her and get the exact
and we'll get the exact statistics,
for the.
what we're gonna
resolution.
approve.
Have them before you approve it.
Well, we have them here, but they're not written out for her.
Are we gonna vote on this now?
Yeah, we have to.
Well. Why don't we craft the language right now then? I think we have the info. You guys agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so resolution to renew the MVP health insurance plan with the MVP HMO HDHP Silver 3
Yep,
and go.
And town to pay inpatient hospital
copay.
copay. Outpatient surgery copay.
No,
Urgent care.
urgent care.
It's the urgent.
There's 3.
Yep,
Yes.
It's outpatient surgery was the second one.
No. Outpatient surgery wasn't in it at all.
Okay, what were the
It's
3?
inpatient copay,
Yeah, that's one.
the urgent care
It's
Yeah.
two.
and emergency room copay.
But
Is
you're
that-
covered.
Is that what you recall too?
Yeah.
Well, I'm all right with that. So
Yeah.
No.
Outpatient surgery didn't change.
Didn't change.
Yeah,
all.
so we
It
didn't
didn't
need to
change, it's
change.
still the same
Still the
deductible.
same price as it.
So
Okay.
you need to specify whether you're covering the entire copay for those or the difference in the copay.
Okay,
And what the
you're right.
difference
It'll
is,
be the-
right?
Correct.
I think we agreed on the difference, didn't we? Or,
The difference for urgent care and emergency room is what I have looked up.
yeah, I believe that's what we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the
Copay
difference,
difference.
Colleen?
The urgent care goes from 20 to 50. And emergency room goes from 75 to 300.
So you'd be paying $225 in emergency care and 50, yeah.
Lori, I would suggest when you're ready, could you read that back to us?
Yep.
I know it's complicated.
In the urgent care is staying the same.
Urgent care goes from 20
Oh,
to 50.
which one's staying the same?
Outpatient.
None.
That's
We
the
all
other-
got confused. Don't
Okay.
even. Let's just put that one out of our mind.
So
what's
we're
the
only doing
inpatient
urgent
change
care
in Jeff?
anymore?
Nope, and then inpatient, but they're covering the whole,
Inpatient urgent care,
Okay,
you're covering the whole copay for inpatient care, correct?
emergency room, those are the three.
Yeah, but what is the amount of the inpatient?
It's 500.
500.
The copay for this.
Yeah.
500 for inpatient.
inpatient, okay.
Okay. And what was it before?
200.
200.
And we previously paid that.
Thank you.
So the big change is paying the difference of copay for urgent care and emergency room,
Right.
ignoring both. separate.
Are you coming? Or can you read it back to me?
Resolution to renew the MVP Employee Health Insurance Plan with the MVP HMOH DHP Silver 3 and the town to pay the 100% of the inpatient hospital copay, the difference of $30 on the urgent care copay, and the difference of $225 on the emergency room copay. That sound?
You good? I make
Yes.
that motion.
I'll second it.
I thought we had it written down already.
Yeah, so did I, but. But
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
Yeah,
You gotta go through that every year.
yeah.
yeah,
Now you can throw it away.
yeah, well, it'll be 10% more next year.
Those are gonna be at, right, I'll have that here on my next little notes.
Okay.
That's okay.
Was there was something else in regards to the dental plan and things of that sort?
that's what she's saying, that,
We're gonna ask for resolutions for the November 13th meeting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Those are paid by the,
Employees.
Employees, 100%. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there.
and we'll have better numbers then, be ready.
No, I don't have the numbers yet. I don't.
All right,
Okay. Since supervisor wants to.
all right, this is discussion, I've been getting a lot of calls about it, about pickleball, which started last year. We put one court in and that's just not enough, there was a long waiting list on sometimes. So my proposal is, and that's only a proposal to think about, and we'll, because we have until the spring to really do it, is to resurface the tennis courts right now and restripe it for 4 pickleball courts.
The
And
whole
people, the whole thing, yeah, and people can go,
Whoever will fit on there,
what's that?
the court size is that much difference, huh?
Yeah, you'll get 4 in here. I'll say 3, and let's see when they lay it out if we have the 4th. How's that sound? But I think the 4th one will fit in there. There are a couple of feet difference in each one.
Should we, I mean, I've liked the idea of, shouldn't we leave one open for tennis? I mean, do we really want to write them right out of it? Out of fairness to them?
Well, right now they have the option to go to the school.
What would it be to,
Yeah, they have the option, but then what if the option's not there? And they have their own tennis practice going on?
what about
That's, I'm
Also,
just thinking for everybody, fairness for everybody.
No, it's
Yeah.
only a discussion.
Yeah, I
We're not
understand.
passing anything.
Yeah.
No,
what
that's-
if we put something on the website? And hopefully the people are still around, they read it. And get something on the website saying more pickleball, less tennis, or and do a questionnaire. Huh?
Poll.
Well, you have to,
No, I'm Polish, not Pole.
well, I think you still have to offer the option for someone to play tennis on the tennis courts. I mean,
Well, that-
I could see three of them, but
Well, they're
in
saying.
fairness to
that's sold.
everybody,
They're saying.
that's not ours though. They could shut that off anytime they want.
That's what
They
I
could
said.
lock
too.
that chain link fence anytime they want.
That's what I said.
It's school property.
Yep.
It's not our property.
How hard would it be to get a ballpark price to add a tennis court and convert to 2 or 3 pickleballs?
Well, that's what this discussion's be. That's why I don't want to go out and get a company to come in. I don't know what to tell them, whether we want 3,
I think
4.
we do a poll.
All right, we can do that.
I have been getting a few calls also, and I'm not just talking about the one email we got. I know it's popular.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
But
if
just
they-
like
if you look
Tim is
down-
saying, you got people that prefer tennis and still will prefer
I mean,
tennis.
you could be getting pickleball calls from everybody who wants pickleball and no one really who plays tennis knows any of this is going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's my point. I think we're getting into assuming everybody wants pickleball here. And I mean, it's a good jest. I like it,
Well, if you
but we
look at-
gotta keep it open.
if you
I
look
think
at
we gotta
places
keep it
like
open for tennis.
Saratoga, Clifton Park down in there, they're building whole new sections
Center.
just for pickleball.
oh, yeah.
Pickleball as a athletic hobby or whatever is a lot more conducive to our demographics.
And what
In other
what
words,
is
older
that?
People play pickleball.
Yeah.
There's
That's what it-
I've seen younger people down there playing tennis. I've seen younger people down there playing tennis.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So I just don't want to see us throw the tennis out the window, and the next thing you have those people howling at you. Then you'll have all the tennis players knock on your door because they don't know any of this is going on right now.
I'd kind of like to see if we could keep at least one tennis court. down
That's
there.
my point.
No,
Just
I
for-
have no
out of
problem with
fairness.
that, you know, I'm just.
Out of fairness.
No, I have no idea how much it costs to build a tennis court.
Well, you wanna know something? Wait until you get the price on nets and resurfacing and striping. Which also, of course, comes back under the plan of the master plan.
Yeah, this is consistent with the master plan.
That is correct.
Well, that's why I'm putting it up in front of you. I just want it, so as long as you want me to go ahead and I don't want to spend the time looking at it when I do it.
I'm in agreement that we want to do something to get some more
Okay.
pickleball courts.
All right, so we will work on that. We'll put something on the internet and see if we can get some
Who's
response.
gonna write up what you want on there?
Well,
Somebody wanna get something to me?
Let's
Yeah.
go pickleballers.
I
The
had,
town,
I had a pickleball set 40 years ago.
the town is looking at a poll to discuss the difference between decreasing the amount of tennis courts to
You wanna,
add pickleball.
okay, do you wanna email that to me?
I'll write it up.
Somebody write it
Okay.
up the way.
There you go.
I'll bounce it off you guys.
Thank
so
you.
Get back to me quick afterwards.
yeah, do that.
Let the professor do it.
All right, now discussion on posting part-time CDL drivers for building and grounds. That's just been a headache for the last couple of years.
Go for it.
It's all right to put it out there.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do that.
Are we gonna go to executive session later?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just
Okay,
gonna
I want to bring that up too.
We're not making an motion to adjourn yet.
No,
All right, I'll start with Andy. You have any other comments or suggestions for next?
I was wondering if we heard anything or where do we stand with the speed limit for the school?
That'll be a year,
That'll be a year,
at least,
Is it?
maybe 10 months to a year. It's done. It's
but it
the
is in
letter
play.
went out, yeah, plus the
Okay.
other one on East River Drive.
I know as something else to also bring up.
Well,
is-
let me finish one. I'll go right down the line.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, that's all.
So,
Thank you.
You're up,
next.
Tim.
One thing on to that's funny. So that anything to add on to that? Is there any, what signage do we have up there? for that road going by the school. Do we
Andy
have
was
any
right,
kind of?
There is a 40.
Yeah.
It's out close.
But I mean,
to-
as far as a school, a notice that up towards 9N or and up the other way, is there anything we can do that way?
They'll come
Until
in,
that's,
they'll come in and tell you.
okay,
You can't ask for a speed limit. When they do their research, they'll tell you it's gotta stay the same or.
yeah.
it could be
But for a
lower.
town, since it's a town road, something that would improve the signage, alerting people there is a school up here, just to put it on there. If you're coming around the corner, there's a school there, until we get that speed limit figured out. Until that's settled, is there something we can do in the interim?
That was Ron said.
I'll run that past, Ron, and I'll check with the county guy that takes care of all this. I mean, it's our road. We should be able to put some kind of prepared sign put up for slow down schools that, you know.
You're
Yeah.
thinking on the 9, 10.
Coming
10,
in
Yeah,
from 9
coming
and
in.
coming down from Highland
Yeah.
and Lady Slipper. Just a,
Just a caution sign or something.
yeah, just a cut, just something in the interim until we get
School
the,
zone,
yeah,
don't have to change the price or the speed.
no, and not until we figure the study out. I think that'd be a good idea. If we can have Ron look into it and see what he says.
Sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. All right, Andy, thank you.
Thank
Tim, anything else?
Other than that, no.
Paul, what was yours?
I've seen we've got a couple of things in regards to the volunteer situation.
Yeah, I have that all in my.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
You can say it, anything.
Adopting it, and things of this sort. I don't know if they actually realize the pros and cons of it, which of course, our person, Melissa, sent us a letter in regards to the situation of taking advantage of it and not taking advantage of it, which is more beneficial.
That's up to them,
I realize that
if we pass it that way.
if we pass it, but I don't know if the people of the fire department actually realize it could be very quite detrimental to certain people in that department. I've got no problem giving them, I spent 23 years in that service. Okay, to help them out. But then you go and start looking at the pros and cons of it. I've got no problem, but they better think what they're going to do,
That's
and they need that information.
that's strictly up to them. So what, if we pass it, they will all get notification.
Okay,
Qualified ones.
you know what I'm saying?
The whole thing here too.
Yeah, yeah, she, do you know what we're talking about, Andy?
Vaguely, I was looking on it, but if you wanna,
What Melissa told us was if they take the one that we're kind of talking about past the area, now,
Mhm.
they won't be eligible for the other one in most cases, correct me if I'm wrong. They'll get less money that way.
They'll get less money.
Okay, that's, okay, so to complete the thing, they'll get 380.14, but every one of the county, town, fire, EMS and school. And school, they're pretty sure they're not gonna pass it. Okay, so with that, it'll stay under that, and they'll be all right. But once the school passes it, then
So you subtract,
they'll be losing.
yeah,
So that's up to them, not up.
that
to
is
us.
correct.
I'm just bringing it up to try to pass like what the county just did about a month ago.
Yeah.
And like this equal out to that. But it's strictly up to the volunteer men and women to make their decision.
Because I guess Paul's suggesting make sure they have an informed decision when they do we'll make sure they have all. the
Well, we'll have to get
information.
in with the
Yeah.
chief and the
I think,
of the fire and the EMS coordinator to get it out to his people
yeah,
and make sure they know. We're gonna pass it. I don't know if we're gonna, that's up to the board.
well,
But if you want to go ahead and pass the same one the county.
we got to set up a resolution for it,
That's what, that's.
okay?
We're here to move it
Uh,
forward to
Move it
next week.
forward in my eyes. I'll make a motion to set up a resolution in regards to further going ahead and accepting the county,
Yep,
okay?
it's called RP-466A-DOL.
Packets.
Don't ask me what
Yeah.
I mean, but,
All
all right, so that's what we're gonna bring as a resolution next 2 weeks from now.
Yes,
There's a whole process. So
huh?
there's a whole process for this, so I will get that worked out for you for your.
Thank
board
you.
meeting. It's not just as easy as throwing a resolution on your next.
It isn't.
No, it isn't.
Okay,
It is for us.
Very good point.
Okay,
thank you, Mary.
so Mary, you'll work that out.
I'll give you everything.
Okay,
I have nothing else, Gene.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm feeling good.
Okay, now.
I got some stuff.
Oh, you got
Oh,
some stuff?
geez.
Go ahead.
I figured it was too good to be true. Did you go ahead?
That's not rushing like we did,
Just-
3 weeks ago. We
just-
forgot one.
Just a couple things. I went to the Warren County Soil Water Conservation District meeting a couple weeks ago and made a brief presentation about Facilicore. And got a tremendous support and got a lot of questions about other communities that are thinking about using it.
Good job.
Friday, Gene, myself, Mike Panich, our planning board alternate and our local landscape architect that's working on the playground, had a brief meeting. We received a proposal from Brady Martinez for equipment and a budget for the equipment. I'll shoot that all out to you and start to figure out if it's something we want to do, and if we do, how we're gonna pay for it, that kind of stuff.
What do you tell them? You had a good idea about having a fundraiser.
Yeah,
This is gonna be up in a lot of.
I wanted to talk a little bit to Mary about that first to see how hard it is to set something like that up.
I think you also got to talk to Karen about approving something of this sort, don't you?
Oh, yeah, we're
Well,
absolutely, yeah,
we're not that far yet.
yeah, we aren't that far along.
Okay,
But we got a nice bunch of renderings and stuff and
You get colored ones?
well, I got them via email.
Yeah.
And morning,
Oh, I didn't want, okay.
this morning.
All right.
So I'll pass that along to you.
It really looks cute the way that they come out in color.
But
But
it's
it's not cheap.
it's not cheap and it's really. On the 18th, I went down to Kroger Lake, as I told you, I was gonna to talk about Facilicore with them. And the third thing I would like to get a resolution set up was to give the gun club permission to have their meetings here like they've done for years in the past. On the third Monday of the month, starting January 15th.
All right, if everybody's in agreement, we'll have a resolution prepared. For 2 weeks from now.
and that's the rod and gun.
Rod and gun,
Yeah.
yeah, they've been in here for
Yeah.
years and then
And
stopped, going forward.
I'll unlock, I'll organize it. I also went to the supervisors meeting on the 20th, just so you know, I'm done.
Great. All right, the board approved, passed a resolution to have me go out and get an appraisal on the Reed Park Colonial Drive property with the gazebo. I called a gentleman, Jim Beatty, talked to him. It's gonna cost us $375. He should have an answer for us on the 16th, which is our next board meeting.
You'll have the appraisal.
Hey,
Board
that's what he
meeting's
said.
on the 13th.
He said he doesn't have paperwork on it. He will call me that day to give me what he thinks it is, but he should have paperwork
Good.
on it.
The 16th is after the board meeting.
Yeah, just so you know.
Well, is after the board meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's this, I'm sorry, it's the 6th.
Okay,
I got a dash there and I called it 16. It's
Okay.
11/6.
okay,
I'm sorry,
that's all right.
because he was trying to get it, so we had it for that meeting. All right, second thing, Karen asked me to make some phone calls to Josh Fisher and Barbara Conway, making sure that they're staying with us on the zoning and planning board so that we have quorums for the winter time. And I got assurance from both of them. They didn't realize they missed that many meetings. So we'll see how it works out. You just take care of it, but. Right. And we already talked about the firefighters, and ambulance, resolution. And the only other thing, I need an executive session. And will you,
We need to go over some resolutions we're gonna need though, before you go into
no,
executive
okay,
session.
but this is my report.
Oh, okay.
You want to read?
We're
What-
doing it now?
No,
No, I'll read it when we.
when you
go.
go, okay. So what do you have resolutions on?
Can I
Okay,
go first?
yeah, go.
Sorry, I only have two.
Oh, you have to,
Yeah,
okay.
so we talked about the ethics board. And you can still be on it if you want to be, but I don't know if you officially resigned.
I did not.
Okay, So then I don't think a resolution is needed. I think you just stay on the board if you want to
Okay,
stay.
I just stepped down from
The
chair.
chair.
Yeah.
And then. Oh, the school is on a town road
Mhm.
or it's on a state road?
Town. That's a town road.
The middle school.
There's another school up here.
There's two schools actually. One,
Oh, yeah, it's the middle school.
the
This
middle
is the
school
high
down
school.
here, right behind.
The
next block
elementary is
over.
a snow now.
And the high school is up on 9N.
So what are you trying to reduce the speed limit on?
It's
Hi-
just
The middle school.
I think it was a middle school, not, it was
Highland Drive.
Highland Drive.
That's a town road?
That's
Yeah.
a
That's
town
a
road.
town road.
So I don't think you need state permission to reduce your own speed limit.
I asked that question, he said yes. But if
It
you
took
know
us-
better, I'll get back to him.
5 years to get Rose Avenue, and that's definitely a town road.
Yeah.
All Hill went to a speed study.
They all did.
Now, if you know otherwise.
Well, if you don't know otherwise, let us know, we can get it taken care of easier.
Okay.
All right, let us know.
The road is Highland Drive.
Right.
We were talking to go from Highland Drive down to Homer Drive.
No, from Homer Drive. Up,
Down to the house, the street that Kevin Hanna lives on.
Homer
Homer
Drive.
Drive,
The Homer, yeah.
from Homer Drive to 9N.
Squire.
9N down Homer
Oh,
Drive,
Wire.
down to Squire Road.
One,
That includes the field. Okay,
It's wire, not Homer.
yeah, well, I was saying down Homer Drive and everybody jumped in.
I just wanted to bring up before I do something we should put on our radar legally and insurance wise for the town. The playground, we want to put it in the town park. Okay. We have the playground we want to put in there. But then we have all the boats there.
Boats are,
Well, the boats could, not in that area. We can move them anyway, any place we want.
Okay, but I want to know legally and with our town insurance, how would they feel about the boats being where in the, I want to know basically where we stand with our insurance and legally, if it's something that we can have this property and boats there to also turn into a jungle gym when the kids are running around. I just want to be sure that we're doing the right thing and we're not.
whatever happened to that change in town law, Mary? In regards to,
You passed
Yeah, they go fast.
so that was passed in regards to no private stuff and everything on town property.
Correct.
Okay. So the boats aren't gonna be there next year.
Oh, there you go. Well, just, yeah, and I'm just thinking. Where are we, insurance, I don't want the town to put itself out there. Go down there and a kid goes climbing on them because they're playing on the playground and they run over there and climb on a boat and on our
Well, we've already seen that.
town loses our shirt. With a lawsuit. We basically have a
Good
jungle
call.
gym,
Check, but I think.
pressure treated lumber, kids playing.
Or is that, I can go seek around the boats. We've watched that.
You have a lawsuit waiting to develop right now.
Tim, I think but I'll double check. I think the canoe kayak racks are shown on their drawing, but I'll check to make sure.
I'm just wondering, like the one lady said, if someone goes off the end of that road and drowns in the lake, who's gonna pay?
Yeah.
So if someone goes on one of their boats
No, I understand what you're
and
saying.
breaks their leg, who's gonna pay?
And what I'm saying is, because they're on the drawings, I don't think we'll forget to ask that question.
Okay, that needs to be figured out. Needed, the legalities of that. Insurance company has to be okay with it too.
I would assume the insurance company would want to see those playground plans if we go ahead with it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our insurance, I can
So
tell
they
you right
gotta
now, that
take it
is a
out.
question every year on renewal, is if we have a playground. And I believe that would add a whole nother section. to
Mhm.
insurance.
All right, anything else?
No, nothing.
You all set? Okay. So we're gonna need a resolution to pay the bills, a resolution to accept minutes, a resolution to renew the employee dental plan, which is 100% paid by the employees, a resolution to renew the employee vision plan, which is also 100% paid by the employees. We are going to need a resolution to accept the SW1 Lake Luzerne District water billing total and re-levy amounts for bills that are unpaid that need to be re-levied onto the 2024 town and county bill. And we'll also need one for the SW2 Hudson Grove District.
Yep.
That's all I have for resolutions that I know we're gonna need.
Unless something pops up in the
What
next
is
2
that one?
weeks.
Right.
Oh, the copier.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I was just gonna ask that too.
Yeah, that was kind of a slide in, wasn't it?
Did we
Yeah.
I
talk,
have not sent anything in because I did not find out what is okay with it or not.
didn't we talk about that?
No. We
Well-
got a letter or
It came out to it was more feasible to lease.
we kind of agreed to lease, but the problem was it went from a new machine, which the little box was not checked, saying it's a used machine.
The little box is checked,
Yeah.
saying it's used.
Now it's,
Where does it say in the paperwork that it was used until we got to?
The actual
I had to
contract.
sign it.
I was signing it and it said used.
says
Yeah.
Um,
but what's the difference?
Hold on.
well, that's the thing, it's still 100% covered. If we were to try to buy new, he quoted it's going to be about double the price and then we have to purchase a service contract. So I think it's probably, I mean, my opinion, it seems like it's still just go with it, but we do not send the contract in until we can kind of make sure everybody's okay with the change, with what we viewed as.
You showed me the numbers in detail. I've got a pretty good understanding of it, and I still think it's the best deal to lease, even though.
Yeah, because a lot more came with it from what
Yeah.
you found out too. A lot, it was a better option.
And it's
I-
100% covered, so if anything happens to it, they have to.
It's a no-brainer.
They
I think it is. I mean, I feel
The
comfortable.
only,
Maintenance
the
fee
only
is still
question I
covered in
got
that.
is how used is the machine they're gonna bring us?
Newer than ours.
It's newer than ours.
Is it going to be?
Long at this point, so.
Is it going to be? Do you know that for a
If
fact?
it's
He
leased, you
said
gotta
that-
bring us another one if it breaks.
They'll fix it.
Okay,
And he said it is an upgrade from the
It's
one
an
that we
upgrade.
have. He did say that.
I mean, I wrote a nice pretty card here that, you know, for the advertisement, and believe me, nowhere on it says used.
yeah.
Yeah. So my 2 cents is go ahead.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
All right, we all agree on that.
Okay.
So get that resolution.
We'll just have to.
We don't need
keep
a
an eye on
resolution.
it.
Do we?
No.
I think it was our method of execution that was under question.
And,
How we're going to do
I'll
it.
bring back one other thing, that $375 bill for the appraisal. We need a resolution to pay it when it comes in or no?
Is that on the property up at?
Hmm?
Won't it be in the abstract?
Yeah,
Yeah, just,
it's under your procurement policy.
okay, so we'll
You
just,
said 300, right?
$375.
370.
And we did vote on authorizing the supervisor to go ahead with it.
Yes.
That's within $20 exactly what we thought it would cost.
Is there any other resolutions that anybody can think of that you want on the list?
No, but I'll have a couple of things on.
Friday specials.
We all done?
We don't
No.
know any more about the lines going on the road, do we?
Les Falls Mountain Road.
He was hoping, he said last meeting, to get him done.
They only do sections of areas and then. they
Yeah,
move
they're
on
not
to
even in
other
the area
areas.
now. We lost
If
them.
he didn't do it.
They're not
what
gonna get
came
done.
up, It won't be done until next year.
And it's
I'm
kind of
pretty
out of our
sure.
hands.
I'm gonna at least bring it up when it's my turn.
Aaron had something.
Oh, I
Karen,
thought
I'm sorry.
You were given a packet from Studio A and a letter that I had received, regarding a subdivision that's in front of the planning board. They are looking to have the town do a resolution to take over the ownership of the road and the stormwater maintenance of this road. They're looking for this because they need, their application to the Adirondack Park Agency is incomplete. This is one of the issues in it. Now, I wish Ron were here tonight. We did sit down with him in my office at the end of last week after the planning board meeting. But we have not received yet the stormwater plan for this project. And until our engineer consultant that we are using has a chance to review that, I am hesitant to have you approve taking it over until you know what that's going to entail. And again, we have a second one over on Call Street that we're working on as well, that they want the town to take over the road and the stormwater management. In order to do the stormwater management, you have to have someone trained to do it. I'm understanding it's like a 4-hour training thing. It's not horrible. It's in time, but then you have responsibilities that you have to do with this stormwater stuff. And, you know, Ron is pretty familiar with obviously taking care of the roads, but stormwater, we have none in the town right now that we are responsible for. This is going to be a new responsibility for the town if we take over the road and the stormwater management of these roads. I don't know what it's going to entail. I wish Ron were here to speak for himself, but that was one of the resolutions to ask for, was a resolution to take over this road and stormwater management. But I don't feel that we have enough information yet to make that decision.
I agree with you.
I agree 100%, and I think we ought to take at this present time and table it until possible Studio A would like to come in and put a presentation on, like the people up at
Well, okay.
Ralph Road.
What do you think, Mary?
I think the problem is that it's an endless circle.
Yes.
They need a decision from this board to be able to complete those tasks in front of the APA, but you can't make a decision until you see what they want to do.
Right.
So I'm almost wondering if you just say no. No at this time, that's what you tell APA, move forward with whatever you're gonna do without the town taking any responsibility, and then at least there's a decision. I don't know, it's just like
I
an
think-
endless circle that's never.
If the town doesn't take
Yeah.
it over, they are forced to form a homeowners association. One other thing in the discussion in the planning board on this that I was asked to bring up to you is that if you decide to take over the road and the stormwater management, they were wondering if it would be possible, the idea of this was brought up, to create a special tax district for the parcels in those subdivisions that the town agrees to do the stormwater maintenance on to help pay for that stormwater maintenance.
I would agree with that.
Now, so I told them that I would bring it to you, but that's something that you can consider in making your decision. And again,
Okay.
you can take over the road, but not the stormwater. You can take over both, or you could take over just the stormwater maintenance and not the road. It's your decision what you take over and what you don't take over.
They're gonna go ahead with these revised plans, right?
These are the revised plans right now, yes.
Okay, so we already have what we need to send to our engineer to get comments.
No.
No, we
No.
do not have this, a stormwater plan is a booklet like this thick,
They're not, the
usually.
stormwater
No.
plan.
We
is
do not have a stormwater plan for this
They're
one.
gonna do that.
They can't until they have a decision.
Why?
The APA is telling them that their application is incomplete because they.
A stormwater plan that we can work with.
I understand what you're.
This,
saying.
this goes back to the same situation, if I'm not mistaken,
About
with
2 years ago.
about 2 years ago. In a catch-22, we can't do this unless they do this and the whole 9 yards.
I do also just want to add that if you say no at this point and then they create this HOA and they complete their plans, it doesn't prevent you from taking the road and stormwater over down the road. It doesn't matter. If they've created an HOA and you feel strongly about it in the future, they can still dedicate both to the town.
Now, why do they have to create a HOA?
They'll pay for it.
Somebody has. to
Somebody
pay
has
for
to.
it.
Yeah, I get it, but
Somebody has to maintain it. Somebody has to go
Yeah.
in and clear out all the silt and stuff that accumulates, and
Yeah.
so they're gonna have to pay for the maintenance of it if the town doesn't do it.
I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I lived in a community for 35 years that went down this route years ago. And as soon as these HOAs or whatever start to fall apart, it ends up in the town's lap anyways. I haven't seen their plans, the store management plan, I don't know what they are. Without seeing them, I think we should strongly consider taking it over. With a couple of huge restrictions. One is a bond. That it be constructed appropriately to the standards that we set, which our town engineer would set, okay? And the other is of course that Ronnie, goes along with it.
Well, there's also a lot more. There's how many more in the hopper? 2 or 3 more?
You're gonna see more and more.
Yeah, and the windup is it's more. Ron's gonna come in here looking for a couple more employees.
And a couple more dollars.
Yeah.
But
But you're gonna get.
the other
tax
side of the
revenue.
coin is you're gonna get 11 new houses paying taxes.
Mm.
I think we gotta table this until we get more
Yeah, we
information.
need to know more,
That-
just to make it
That's
out of
why
pocket.
I'd like to see their storm, not me, but I'd like to get their storm plan so we can send it to our engineers and see what they think.
But they won't do that until the APA.
Well, we need that.
Okay, if that's the case, then I agree with Mary, then the answer is no. If they won't do it. If the developer is not willing to do the design work that needs to be done to make a decision, then the answer is no. But just my opinion.
Well, I will get back to these people and explain to them, maybe they would want to come to the town board meeting Monday and make a presentation to you in regard to this. Hopefully, on the 13th, hopefully Ron will be here that night. And I could ask Jonathan Sokup from Cedarwood to come as well. It's gonna, I don't know who would end up having to. Right now, any engineering costs is paid by the company that is presenting the plan. So if I ask Jonathan Sokup to come to that meeting, does that get passed back to these people?
Probably not.
Should. It should.
It should,
Okay.
but you should just be humans, you should tell them we're gonna do it.
Okay, so I will ask them to come to the town board meeting on the 13th.
Yeah,
They'll be responsible for costs, right?
Okay, I'll get back to them. So that's one thing I had. The other, this time of year is when we have to go around and do inspections at the campgrounds and the mobile home parks, and we send out the operating permit bills. So Lori sent to you today my report. I hope you've looked at that, but I would like, if possible, for you just to accept that report tonight. I don't need a resolution, just maybe make a motion and pass that you accept my report so that I can start getting that billing out. Because
I had time to read it.
I did
It's
too.
fine for me. I'm fine with it. I don't know if you guys have a chance to read it or not.
I haven't had a chance.
I have not.
I can go
there.
through it very
Because
quickly
everything I printed
if you'd
today.
like.
Thank you.
The Mountaineer campground was clean and orderly. The half-mile campsites, it's been closed, but they didn't operate this year, but they'd like to continue their operating permit because they do intend to reopen in the spring next year. The KOA was clean and orderly. Utopia was excellent, but clean and orderly. Countryside, and then those are the campgrounds, mobile home parks, Countryside Estates over on Call Street. We found one issue there. And we contacted the representative already, and they are taking care of the issue. We just have to go back and recheck it. It wasn't anything major. It was some pallets and stuff that had been put up as like a fenced in area around a shed, and it was in a mobile home park, and it was like, what is going on here? Turned out that guy was trying to do a garden. The deer were getting in, and he just was making this fence so that the deer couldn't get over it. So it's being taken care of. Luzerne Mobile Home Park, it's in acceptable condition. It's not always orderly and clean in there, but we've actually this year we had to do a couple of enforcements there, and they've gotten the issues taken care of. So that one it's acceptable. Lazy Pines, clean and orderly. Mazio Mobile Home Park up on Old Stage is fine, clean and orderly. Ponderosa Park, same. Rooney Estates, we found a couple of unlicensed vehicles. We contacted the owner and the issue's already been resolved. Springer Mobile Home Park, clean and orderly. Sunset was clean and orderly. Whispering Waters, we had one unlicensed vehicle there, which they were allowed to have for a period of up to 6 months, but we contacted the owner and informed him of the regulations, and they resolved the issue that day. They're very good, those two parks, Sunset and Whispering Waters, they're very good at being on top of things and checking in with me to make sure that things were fine. So that's pretty much it.
I'll make a
Yeah.
motion to accept your,
Yeah, the way you sounds like everybody's in great shape. There's
Yeah.
a real bad problem.
Yeah, there isn't anything.
What's the name of the one
major.
down by Cumberland Farms?
That's the
behind-
Whispering Waters.
that's Whispering Water.
I'll second that motion.
The grounds
Yeah,
and
go in there
things-
armed.
Pardon?
Yeah, go in there armed.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
It's a
grounds
real
were
treasure
fine.
trove in there.
It's clean. There's no garbage around. The only thing we found was there's that one unlicensed car, which they were waiting for the the tow truck to come and get it. So am I set on that?
I make a motion.
All in favor?
We got a
Aye.
motion.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Opposed?
The only other thing I wanted to mention was that after our planning board meeting, we have open public hearings going on. They've been tabled and they remain open in our planning board meeting. And so after we had our last meeting, we were looking at the YouTube presentation of it because I needed to go back and find out some wording for something that I was submitting a report on. And on YouTube, Chris knows more about this than I do, but on YouTube, you have the ability to put in comments. Now, Zoom is live. YouTube, you could be looking at it more or less live, but you also can go in at any time and look at it. And someone had posted a comment on YouTube regarding some of the public comments that were made during the public hearing part of that meeting. And we didn't know whether we had to consider them as a comment in the public hearing or not. And we checked with our attorney, Mary Cassane, and she said that no, that we're not going to consider that comments made on YouTube to be part of public comment in the public hearing session. So I wanted to bring that up to you because periodically we have that here as well and in the zoning board, but we're no longer even accepting public comment by Zoom at zoning board. We still are at the planning board, but here at the town board, you have the same thing. When you have a public hearing and if they go in on YouTube afterwards, they may post a notice or a comment that you're not going to see. And you might want to consider having like a disclaimer somewhere, whether it's on the website or at the beginning of every meeting when you hold a public hearing, that any comments that are left on YouTube won't be considered as public comment.
Smart.
So I just wanted to bring that up
That
because
that makes it a whisker more important to close the public hearing.
so that's all I have for right now.
All right.
That's a good one, Karen. Interesting, that last one.
I think we ought to think about that.
It should be.
Yeah.
All right. Any comment from the public?
I had two questions and they were both addressed on.
Okay, good. All right, we're gonna need a motion to adjourn into executive session and Mary will.
Make a motion.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wait, you gotta let us speak.
We're going to into executive session to discuss employment of a particular person.
Correct. Have a good evening.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
Yeah, about 16, 11, 8:16.
Back on Zoom, I got that camera going, don't need to turn everyone else's camera.
No,
That's.
as long as we're on Zoom. All right, well, we're out of the executive session. And Jim Niles has a resolution to
I make a motion that we approve overtime to our water treatment person, Jeff Dickinson, in the amount of $816.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'm gonna do a roll call then.
Okay.
We had to.
Yeah. Councilwoman McMahon,
Yes.
Councilman Hanlon,
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski.
Yeah.
Councilman Niles,
Yes.
Supervisor Merlino.
yes.
I make a motion, we adjourn this evening.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I.
We're adjourned. Thank you all.
And for